Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to Sunday. Welcome to Random Pick Day. Now, I've got two things in my hands. Once again, I've got my iPhone because we're going to be using Siri in today's episode and also my special custom Xbox controller. If you'd like to pick one up, there's a link down below in the description. Shameless plug at the start of the Random Pick today. But yeah, I wanted to do another Siri episode of the Random Pick. They're probably my favourite ones to make, as I like the players that I have in my club. They're in my club for a reason, and I want to be able to use them as often as I possibly can. So, I've decided today that what I would do is use only the special players from my club in order to get our 3 Random Pick players. Let me put the phone down for a minute. So I've got exactly 5 pages of special items to show you today. I would use these lone players as well. Like, I don't think there's anyone like R9 Ronaldo's got 5 games. Harry Kane's only got 6 games on him. Like, I think I could still make an episode with that amount of games. And then, like, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. I've got an R9 Ronaldo. My club's changed a little bit since the club tour the other day. I no longer have Ronaldinho, as you can see. I also don't have Cristiano Ronaldo anymore. However, he's not a special item. And today is literally going to be based around special items only for my 3 Random Pick players. Page number 4 features these guys right here. There's some untradeable icons. Player of the month. We've got a couple of SBC cards. They'd be amazing. And then page number 5. I kind of don't really want anything on this page. But to be fair, like Maguire, Lalic, Sansone, even this guy and a couple of others don't look the worst in the world. So it would just be a bit unfortunate if I had to use them. However, let's go all the way back to page number 1 and see where we can start off today then, shall we? Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 5. 1 second, it says.
It's 3.
It's 3. Did you hear that? It said it's 3. What's on page number 3? Okay, probably the other page that I'm not too worried about. It's like the low-rated, nothing really informs. But there's a couple of gems in there. Hey Siri, please give me a random number between 1 and 10.
That would be 2.
That would be 2. Well, we get to use Inform Alessandrini. He's not the easiest thing to link up because, well, I mean, I might just stick some of my icons into the team or something. But, yeah, he's MLS. So he's French, but he's MLS. So Inform Alessandrini is our first Random Pick player today. Siri, please give me a random number between 1 and 5.
2.
It's 2, so we go back a page, and there's some great stuff on here. Like, we've got all 4 of my tradable icons, and then some relatively decent rated informs as well. Siri, please give me a random number between 1 and 10.
It's 9.
It's 9. So, unfortunately, we don't get one of those crazy icons, but we do get El Shaarawy, who... Have I even used him before? No, I've not even used the Inform El Shaarawy. This could be quite fun. Let's move on then. Siri, please give me a random number between 1 and 5.
The answer is 2.
The answer is 2, so we're actually going to stay on this page. It would be nice to get one of them icons, I'm not going to lie. But the informs are not too bad either. Hey Siri, please give me a random number between 1 and 10.
It's 6.
It's 6. What is 6 then? 5, 6. So we get Icardi. So Icardi is going to link to El Shaarawy. And then we're going to need to try and find a way to link Alessandrini up. I'm thinking in my head, it's probably just going to be Vieira to get a strong link to him and then another Frenchman. I think that's probably the way to go. But I actually get to use Icardi and El Shaarawy and Inform Alessandrini. It's going to be a triangle or a trio of inform players up front. Should be fun. Let me go ahead and build the team, make the random pick as it would normally be from this moment onwards. Smash a like on the video if you do enjoy today, guys. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get back into it as usual. All right, so moving into post-commentary now, as I would normally do a random pick episode. It is time to choose our formation, and I've also had a t-shirt change because it's been about 8 hours since then, and I've been out since then. I thought you might like to know. But this is odd, right? I'm going to play with a 5 at the back today because it was kind of weird to try and figure out a way to get everyone in there, but to try and make the players that are in the squad quite interesting as well. So this is obviously where I'm going to play my 3 players. Left wing for El Shaarawy, El Shaarawy, striker for Icardi, and then right wing, of course, for Alessandrini. And the full team around them looks a little bit like this. It's definitely not the craziest of hybrids or anything like that, but it's a different formation featuring some players that I don't often use, so I was interested to test it out. Edison in goal always does amazing stuff against me, so I was hoping he'd be a good goalie for us today. I've got a couple of Man United centre-backs there in Rojo and Bailly, as well as the Arsenal centre-back Koscielny, who gets a little link out to the right with Sidibe, who's going to play as my right wing-back today. He's got good stats across the board, so has Dalbert, actually, so I picked two players that I think could probably push up the pitch a little bit and actually do a little bit of work there. And I feel like fullbacks as well, kind of or like wingbacks, kind of play in like the centre of midfield a little bit too. So they're going to help out with João Mario and Patrick Vieira. I tried to do this squad without Patrick Vieira, and there's definitely loads of ways to do it, but it doesn't mean that Alessandrini's super involved. I can't do it in like a 4-3-3 without using some silvers that no one really wants to use, or bronzes, or, you know. So I've gone with Vieira today for a chemistry link. Alessandrini is our first random pick player. He looks like a complete beast, and I picked him up for well cheap back in the day. I think he's double that price now, into the 40Ks. Packed El Shaarawy really early on in the game, and then he looks like a great player as well. Also a potential investment. You know, it looks like Salah's going to be the one to get player of the month after an absolute mad November. And of course, he used to play for Roma. Maybe that could... I don't know a thing, but it could be useful at some point down the line, people have been saying. And then Mauro Icardi, 87 rated. This is the second in form. 81 pace and dribbling, as well as 88 shooting. This year he's actually got 3-star skill moves, as well as that 4-star weak foot, so he's a little bit more usable. And overall, that team actually looks quite well balanced and looked like it could do a job for us on FUT 18. So we can take away from this and move on into the clips and see what we were actually able to do. And I get to tell you right now that I seriously struggled with this team. It's so weird. Like, yesterday I did a squad builder, and I told you about how, like, awesome I played, and I scored loads of goals, and it was just all gravy, and everything was working and clicking. I played with that squad the same day that I played with this one, and I was just, like, hardly scoring anything. Like, I really, really struggled. I was getting matched up against like crazy meta teams, like loads of people had loads of good players, and like the players I was up against seemed to be really solid and stuff, so there was definitely not a huge amount of scoring going on, but the goals did come from, I guess like half the goals that I scored actually came from Icardi, which I would expect as my out and out striker. I got the odd goal with different players here and there, and then of course Alessandrini got a couple. But fun fact, I scored 0 goals in the 5 games I think we played with El Shaarawy. Didn't score for me. And that's weird. And I think some of that is to do with the fact that I sprint down the wing and then, or sprint it just inside the box and then hit a low driven across the goalkeeper. El Shaarawy's got a 2-star weak foot and he's right-footed on that left-hand side. Whereas Alessandrini is left-footed on the right-hand side, but he's got a 4-star weak foot, so he's just more usable, if you know what I mean. So definitely struggled with El Shaarawy, and I've got to say the guy just didn't feel any different to a regular version that I've used in the past. One thing I would definitely say about this team is that Mauro Icardi's shot is pretty fantastic. You know, boosting that up to 88 in game now. He really can find the back of the net when he wants to. Maybe the other stats that he's got don't necessarily make him the greatest of players, but yeah, he's a goal scorer, all right. And if you got the right players around him in the right formation, I definitely also think the 5 at the back wasn't a great idea. I don't know what it is about it. It's just all spread out, and I don't feel any better in defence. You think having an extra player in defence would make it better, but effectively the 2 wing-backs kind of act like left mids and right mids, and then you're playing a 3 at the back, and that's dangerous. But I also, when I was going forward, didn't feel like I had extra players in the midfield. It was a bit weird, I'm not going to lie. But overall, just not a massive success this week. If you are the sort of person that watches the random pick and then maybe tries to build the squad that I do, I might recommend not going down this route, maybe trying to fit those 3 random pick players into a different squad in general. But this particular one this week, sometimes it works. Today it just didn't. It really didn't. But hey, what can you say? We have a lot of good weeks on the random pick, and then I go ahead and build a stupid 5 at the back team. and it just doesn't work. But one thing I wanted to make sure was that I got those players in the left wing, right wing, and striker roles, because I felt like that was kind of necessary to get them involved. So overall, not hugely excited about giving the ratings for these players at the end of the episode, because they're not going to be the highest at all. I do like Eric Bailly. He feels very, very overpowered. Rojo, not so much. Don't really like him. Rojo, whatever you say. And then Koscielny's alright as well, but I feel he lacks a little bit in something. I'm not too sure what it is. I will rate Sidibe on this game all the way through, and I hope at some point in time the man could get himself an inform, because he's actually great. I actually just do really like him. And Dalbert, yeah, you can tell he's a bit weak and stuff, but he's very, very quick. João Mario and Vieira were solid, I would say, actually. They helped me in quite a lot of games win that possession back in the midfield, especially Vieira, right? He's an absolute boss. He just is. Now we can move on. Alessandrini, what am I going to rate him today? Well, I'm going to go for a 4-star value for money and an 8 out of 10. That's an above average rating, but he would have been a 4.5-star or maybe even a 5-star value for money if you get him for the price that I paid, but he's definitely over 45k at this point in time. I've had him for ages, and I might even sell him at this point just for the profit, because, yeah, he's a lot more expensive now. El Shaarawy gets a 3-star value for money and a 7 out of 10. He just didn't feel any different to his regular item. However, like I said, there's potential for him to be maybe necessary or useful for a potential player of the month. Salah, I don't know if that means or makes any difference to you guys, whether that's pushed his price up, whether you wouldn't want to pay for him, but I do think the regular El Shaarawy performed just as well for me, if I'm honest. And then a 4-star value for money and a 7.5 out of 10 for Icardi. So I do still think Alessandrini's a better player. He just works a little bit better on the game. Icardi's missing a little bit of pace, a little bit of dribbling, a little bit of physical, and I'd love obviously the 4-star skill move. So he's not the complete striker, but he's a very clinical one once he does get in front of goal. So an above average rating for him. Yeah, overall, just not the most successful episode of the random pick, but hey, you get the cards that you're dealt. I didn't get dealt a specific icon or anything from my 3 random pick players today. I got the 3 informs that were in my club. So do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on today's video, guys. Don't forget to support the channel by subscribing if you are new around here, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.